Hi. So I just got back from my lab and I've had a tough day, and I thought that I wanted to order some food for myself, and I decided to um, take advantage of this opportunity and eat in front of you and have a conversation and yeah, just try to enjoy this evening after a rough day. So I ordered some Asian food. Haven't even opened it yet. Okay, my chopsticks. All the sauces. Let's see what I have here. I always order all the sauces. So we have teriyaki sauce, the spicy mayo sauce, and soy, of course, and some wasabi, some more wasabi, and ginger. Classic. I got some egg rolls, and I got two sushi rolls. This one is vegetarian, and this one is with salmon. Cheers. Oh, this is gonna be crunchy. My day is better already. This is delicious. Okay, so I have a list of topics that I actually wanted to talk about. How's everyone doing with the whole coronavirus craziness? It started here in Israel at the end of February, and just now we're starting to have a little bit of a calm, and everyone kind of starts to go back to work and to school and all that stuff. I got back to working at the lab I think 3 weeks ago because I think they prioritized it, and also there's just usually under 10 people in each lab, so it wasn't that big of a problem. And yeah, so I got back a while ago, but right now everyone is everything is pretty almost usual here. I think they took it really seriously right from the get-go, and that really helped just not have it as crazy, and maybe learn from mistakes that other countries did. So we didn't have that many sick people. I mean, we didn't have a high percentage of do you by the way put your wasabi in your soy sauce? I think this is what you're supposed to do. This is how my mom taught me when I started eating sushi, but I don't know. I hope this is what you're supposed to do. At first I was kind of nervous that it's gonna be a lot for me, the quarantine and being alone and all that, but I kind of found things that were fun for me to do. I started by reading the Harry Potter books from the start. I actually started reading them or read them for the first time just 4 years ago, I think, and that's actually a funny story how I got to read it for the first time. So I was traveling in Central America, and I was in a hostel. And if you've traveled a lot, then you know that in hostels there's this thing that they have libraries, and people that come and go from the hostel, they can leave a book and take a different one. So it's a lot of fun, actually. So I finished a book at this hostel in, I think it was Costa Rica, and I wanted to take something different to read, and I didn't like anything in that specific place. And then I saw a small Harry Potter book, and I think it's the original version, the English version, and it was new, it was wrapped, and I was like, well, I can give it a chance and see if I like it, because I don't know, as a kid I never wanted to try and read it. So I really liked it, and when I got back home I ordered all the other books from Amazon, and I loved it. And when I finished all of them, I cried so bad. It was like a hole, like a gap in my soul. Like, it was so sad for me to finish them. So I read them again during the quarantine because I forgot a lot of the details and I just wanted to, and I enjoyed it so much. It was such a good idea. I honestly loved it, and I couldn't put the books down, and it was amazing. If you're still quarantined, then I recommend reading the Harry Potter books again. When I finished the Harry Potter books, I started watching Lost again. I watched Lost, I think, when I was in high school. And I remembered loving it. Like, I was addicted to that show. And for the longest time I wanted to watch it again and didn't have the time. So during quarantine, I had some time, watched the whole show again. I honestly think it's the best show ever. Each season is so different than the one before. Like, when you watch the first season, it's a whole different show than if you watch the 4th or the 5th season, but not in a bad way. Like, it develops in such a creative way. You could never expect anything. I honestly think that the person who wrote the script for that show has to be like a little bit crazy. Like, how can you think about these ideas? Like, I can't even imagine. But to me, crazy or not, this writer has to be so creative and brilliant. The only problem I have with that show, Lost, is the ending. I mean, I sometimes see on YouTube that people try to explain the ending and stuff like that. I never watched these because I kind of want to figure out myself, but even watching it the second time hasn't helped. Like, I hate the ending of that show because it's so weird and disappointing, and it's like, what? That's how you feel when you watch the last episode. It's like, what just happened? I don't like it. I mean, the whole the last season is apt to that moment, to the last episode. But I feel like even with everything that happens during the last season, they could go a different way with the ending. Another thing I don't like about the show's ending, and I'm sorry if you haven't watched it, but it's so old, is the fact that Kate and Sawyer don't end up together. I mean, what's that about? Sawyer and Juliet? Come on. Changing topics. Or going back to the coronavirus. During this time, I watch the news every day. And I usually never watch the news because it gives me horrible anxiety. But it was so like, everyone was so like on edge. And I felt like I needed to know every little development, and every time a person died, it was like so dramatic. But yeah, I watch the news every day. And when the quarantine here ended, we had a heat wave. But when I say a heat wave, if you watch this, I don't know where you live, but a heat wave here, because it's such a hot place already to live, for an entire week, we had 45 degrees Celsius. Like, the second you open your front door and stepped outside, it felt like going into a fire. Like, it was horrible. And everyone are supposed to wear their protective masks, and it was just impossible. It was impossible. So there are so many things that I want to get at Sephora, and I absolutely can't because there is no Sephora in Israel, if you didn't know. Every time I come to the US, I stock things from Sephora. I wish I could go so bad to New York to like buy some things and just fly back home. Do you like my shirt? I love these type of shirts. I'm very into astrology, which, by the way, if you're around scientists and you say you're into astrology, everyone laughs at me in the lab because it's not scientific and it doesn't have any proof and stuff like that, which I kind of get because I'm like that with most things. Like, I want proof to be able to believe in something, but it's just that astrology, from my experience, is just so accurate and so interesting, and it's, to me, it just helps me understand people better, you know? Okay, I think I'm done. I had a rough day, like I said at first, and this was so much fun for me. I feel much calmer and happier. Thank you if you ate with me or listened to me or watched my video at all. I hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.